This video is sponsored by Dossier. Dossier is a perfume company who reproduces high-end luxury fragrances for a fraction of the price. They also have men's cologne and women's perfume to fit everybody's needs. They are also vegan, cruelty-free, and paraben-free. And each box ranges anywhere from $29 to $59. I got 2 different scents that I wanted to share with you guys today. And they come in these really beautiful boxes. They're very simple. Just has the logo down here, Dossier. And when you open it up, it has their little logo / saying above, and then it also comes with its own card telling you everything about the scent that you purchased. So the first one I got is called Aquatic Lime. It has the notes, what it's inspired by, its concentration, and just how Dossier works. And this fragrance is inspired by Giorgio Armani, the Acquadigio, and I am obsessed because I've never actually smelled the Giorgio Armani one, but this one, oh my gosh, it smells so good. And it comes in these beautiful bottles with the name of it, and then the notes are up here at the top. And it has a magnetic top on it, so it's really easy to take off and put back on. But the smell reminds me so much of summer or the beach. It's very fruitful but fresh at the same time. And its top notes are bergamot, lime, and watermelon. It also has jasmine, rosemary, cedarwood, oak moss, and vetiver in it. This is probably my favorite one so far that I've received from Dossier. It just smells so good. It could honestly be a guy's cologne or a woman's perfume. However you want to wear it, it can be unisex. The other one that I got is called Woody Rum, and it also comes in the same box with its own card. This one is inspired by Kilian Straight to Heaven. I've never heard of this brand, but this one is like extremely spicy. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but there's some perfumes or colognes out there that are more of like that spicy smell. So if that is what you're looking for, then this is definitely the one for you. It has rum, dry fruit, nutmeg, jasmine, cedarwood, vanilla, patchouli, amber, and sandalwood. So just based off of those notes alone, you know what I'm talking about. It has that very like musky, robust smell to it. I would personally say this one is a unisex one as well. It honestly smells more like a guy's cologne to me, but I mean, come on now, anybody can wear whatever they want. You can flaunt it however you want. So those are my 2 scents I got this month. I'm really excited to wear them, especially since it's about to be fall. Kind of mix up different scents that I have, try different ones on, and see what I like the best. But Dossier was so kind to give me a 10% off for you guys to go purchase whatever you would like on their website. I will put that link right here and also down in the description box with all the other information you need for their website, my discount code, all of that. So again, thank you Dossier for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let's get into the rest of this video. Hi sweetheart. How are you feeling? Tell you don't feel very good. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm right here with you, and I'm not going anywhere. Yes, I'm gonna take really good care of you and make sure that we get you all better, okay? Good. When did you start feeling bad? Last night? Okay. Well, That's why I didn't make you go to school today, because I could tell you just did not feel good. And I wanted you to relax in your bed and get as much rest as possible so that you can start feeling better. Of course, sweetie. Well, I have some things here to help you feel a little bit better. Are you feeling cold at all? A little bit. Okay. Well, I have this really cozy blanket for you. It's nice and soft. You gonna feel it? Yeah, it's super cozy and it's gonna make you feel nice and warm. So, I'm just gonna wrap this around you and get you all nice and comfortable. Okay? Yeah, there you go. Is the pillow behind your head okay? It is. Okay, good. So the blanket is nice and tucked in around you. So you should feel nice and cozy. Okay. Just gonna make sure this is put around you really good. There you go. That's comfortable? Okay. Alright. Well, I'm gonna take your temperature because I want to make sure that you don't have a temperature. Because if you do, then I'll have to keep you from school a few days until we can prove that you don't have a temperature. So let me just turn this on. So open up wide, say ah. There you go. Just takes a second. Okay, good. So you do have a little bit of a temperature. It's at 100.1. That's a lower end temperature, so we can get that down. But we do have to make sure that you don't have a temperature to go back to school. So I'm going to keep checking that periodically throughout the next few days just to make sure that you're getting better, okay? Do you feel hot at all, or are you actually cold? You do feel cold, okay. Yeah, that's normally a sign that you do have a temperature. So I'm glad that I checked that. I have a washcloth that I'm going to put around you. I know you already feel cold, but this is just going to help cool you off a little bit, especially on your head. So I'm just going to come in here and gently pat this on your forehead. There you go. There you go. How does that feel? Good? Okay. Alright, I'm going to come over here on this side. Okay. I know it's a little chilly, but it's going to make you feel so much better, I promise. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to fold this and put it right on your forehead, just like that. Alright, sweetie. Does that feel okay there? Doesn't feel like it's gonna fall or anything? Okay, good. So I do have some tea for you. Do you want some tea? Yeah, because you're having some drainage and just a little bit of a sore throat. Okay, yeah. So I didn't get to run to the store, but I do have some chamomile tea for you, and that will help you sleep. And I'm also going to put some honey in here as well, just to help, soothe your throat a little bit. And the warmth of the hot tea is going to help as well, okay? Alright, so it just comes in one of these little packets. And I already warmed up some water. And I put it in your favorite cup, your little owl cup. I know how much you love this cup, so I thought it would make you feel a little bit better. But the water is all nice and hot, so I'm gonna set it right here for a second. I'm just gonna add the tea bag. Just put that in there. We're going to let it sit for about 3 minutes so that it can really seep into the water and you can get all of the benefits of it. And I also got you some honey. This one is the Naked Wild Honey, raw and unfiltered, since raw honey is normally better for you anyways. So I'm just going to undo this. And I'm just going to put some in here for you. Do you want more? A little bit? Okay. Is that good? That's tasty. Okay, let's just stir it up a little bit. It's gonna taste really good with that honey in it. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit just for a little bit longer. I do have some medicine for you as well that's really going to help. Yeah, I just think that your immune system is a little bit underwhelmed or overwhelmed. So I did get you some vitamin C, and I have a few other things that you can take to help kind of boost your immune system a little bit. Yeah, so I do have C, and it just requires 1 tablet. I know you don't love tablets, but I promise you, you're gonna feel so much better. So I'm gonna do 1 of those. And then I also have this other product I bought called quercetin. It's for immune support and seasonal health, so if you do have any seasonal allergies that we don't know about, this will help. So I'm going to give you both of those. And do you have a headache at all? A little bit. Do you want to take some ibuprofen? See if that helps? Okay. I have some ibuprofen for you too. I'm just going to give you one of those to start out with. And if you need another one, just let me know. Alright, sweetheart, here you go. And then here's some water. You can take all of them at once if you want. Drink up. There you go. Good. Do you need another sip? Okay. There you go. Yeah, those should really help you feel better. And we're just going to keep monitoring your temperature. And I'm going to keep checking on you throughout the day and night to make sure that you are recovering well, okay? Of course, sweetheart. Let's check on your tea. Oh yeah, looks like it's almost done. Just gonna stir the honey in a little bit more. Okay, you wanna take a sip? There you go. Good job. Is it good? Good, okay, take another one. Perfect. Yeah, it's not too bad, is it? Yeah, the honey really helps. I always had honey to my tea. Okay, take another. Good job. Okay, one more and then I'll put it down. You can have some in a little bit, okay? There you go. Good job. Alright, sweetie. I'm so sorry that you don't feel good. Yeah, I know it's not fun getting sick. Especially since you had a lot of fun things happening at school this week. Yeah. Well, it's only Tuesday, and I know most of your fun activities are gonna happen on Thursday and Friday. So as long as we can get your temperature down within the next day, then you can go back to school. Yeah, so hopefully you won't miss any of your exciting events you have coming up, because I know how much you've been looking forward to them. Yes. But that's why I'm here, because I really want to help you feel so much better. Yeah. Well, I also have some peppermint oil here, and I mixed it with a little bit of oil. So I know you're a little stuffy, so just smell this for a second. That's really going to open up your sinuses, and it's going to help you be able to breathe better. Yeah. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this in my hand. I'm just going to rub it in. I love the smell of peppermint. It smells so good, especially when you're all stopped up. Okay, I'm just gonna come rub it on your chest. And this is really gonna open up all of this part in your chest area. Yeah. You're gonna feel so much better. How does that feel? Good? Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, let me check on your towel over here. Okay. Still good. I'm gonna dab it on your face again. Gotta keep you cool. Once your temperature breaks, you won't feel so cold. It's just your body trying to fight off whatever is going on. Yeah. So once your temperature goes away, you'll no longer need your blanket because you'll go back to being at your normal temperature. It's actually pretty hot in the house today. Yeah, it's because it's so hot outside right now. Okay. Just dab it a few more times. I'm happy I had the day off today so that I could take care of you. Yeah. I know you needed it. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit more of your tea. There you go. It's good. Glad you can get this down because this is really going to help you feel better. Okay, another sip. Good job. That was a good drink. Okay, one more. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to set it right over here, okay? Alright. Well, you do need to get some rest. Yeah, because that's really going to help you recover quicker. Getting as much sleep as you can. Yeah, but I do have a book that we started a while back that we haven't gotten to read lately. So I thought I could read you the book until you fell asleep. Yeah, does that sound good? Okay, I was hoping you'd let me read it to you. Yeah, I know you're getting older, but Mom still likes to read to you. Yeah. Do you remember when I was reading this to you a while back? You do? Good. So you remember where we left off? Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to read it to you until you fall asleep. Let me find our page. Okay. So we were on chapter 2. It's called The Vanishing Glass. Nearly 10 years had passed since the Dursleys had woken up to find their new nephew on the front step. But Privet Drive had hardly changed at all. The sun rose on the same tidy front gardens and lit up the brass number 4 on the Dursleys' front door. It crept into their living room, which was almost exactly the same as it had been on the night when Mr. Dursley had seen that fateful news report about the owls. Only the photographs on the mantelpiece really showed how much time had passed. 10 years ago, there had been lots of pictures of what looked like a large pink beach ball, wearing different colored bonnets. But Dudley Dursley was no longer a baby, and now the photographs showed a large blonde boy riding his first bicycle on a carousel at the fair, playing a computer game with his father, being hugged and kissed by his mother. The room held no sign at all that another boy lived in the house, too. Yet Harry Potter was still there, asleep at the moment, but not for long. His Aunt Petunia was awake, and it was her shrill voice that made the first noise of the day. Up, get up, now! Harry woke with a start. His aunt rapped on the door again. Up, she screeched. Harry heard her walking toward the kitchen, and then the sound of the frying pan being put on the stove. He rolled onto his back and tried tried to remember the dream he had been having. It had been a good one. There had been a flying motorcycle in it. He had a funny feeling he'd had the same dream before. His aunt was back outside the door. "Are you up yet?" she demanded. "Nearly," said Harry. "Well, get a move on. I want you to look after the bacon, and don't you dare let it burn. I want everything perfect on Dudley's birthday, or Duddy's birthday." Harry groaned. "What did you say?" His aunt snapped through the door. Nothing. Dudley's birthday. How could we have forgotten?" Harry got out of bed and started looking for socks. He found a pair under his bed, and after pulling a spider off one of them, put them on. Harry was used to spiders because the cupboard under the stairs was full of them, but that was where he slept when he was dressed. He went down the hall into the kitchen. The table was almost hidden beneath all Dudley's birthday presents. It looked as though Dudley had gotten the new computer he wanted, not to mention the second television and the racing bike. Exactly why Dudley wanted a racing bike was a mystery to Harry, as Dudley was very fat and hated exercise, unless of course it involved punching somebody. Dudley's favorite punching bag was Harry, but he couldn't often catch him. Harry didn't look it, but he was very fast. Perhaps it had something to do with living in a dark cupboard. But Harry had always been small and skinny for his age. He looked even smaller and skinnier than he really was, because all he had to wear were old clothes of Dudley's, and Dudley was about 4 times bigger than he was. Harry had a thin face, knobby knees, black hair, and bright green eyes. He wore round glasses held together with a lot of Scotch tape because of all the times Dudley had punched him on the nose. The only thing Harry liked about his own appearance was a very thin scar on his forehead that was shaped like a bolt of lightning. He had had it as long as he could remember, and the first question he could ever remember asking his Aunt Petunia was how he had gotten it. "In the car crash when your parents died," she had said, "and don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. That was the first rule for a quiet life with the Dursleys." Uncle Vernon entered the kitchen as Harry was turning over the bacon. "Comb your hair," he barked, by way of a morning greeting. About once a week, Uncle Vernon looked over the top of his newspaper and shouted that Harry needed a haircut. Harry must have had more haircuts than the rest of the boys in his class put together. But it made no difference. His hair simply grew that way all over the place. Harry was frying eggs by the time Dudley arrived in the kitchen with his mother. Dudley looked a lot like Uncle Vernon. He had a large pink face, not much neck, small, watery blue eyes, and thick blonde hair that lay smoothly on his thick, fat head. Aunt Petunia often said that Dudley looked like a baby angel. Harry often said that Dudley looked like a pig in a wig. Harry put the plates of egg and bacon on the table, which was difficult as there wasn't much room. Dudley, meanwhile, was counting his presents. His face fell. 36, he said, looking up at his mother and father. "That's 2 less than last year. Darling, you haven't counted Auntie Marge's present. See, it's here under this big one from Mommy and Daddy." "All right, 37 then," said Dudley, going red in the face. Harry, who could see a huge Dudley tantrum coming on, began wolfing down his bacon as fast as possible in case Dudley turned the table over. Aunt Petunia obviously scented danger too, because she said quickly, "And we'll buy you another 2 presents while we're out today. How's that, Pumpkin? 2 more presents? Is that all right?" Dudley thought for a minute. It looked like hard work. Finally said, "So I'll have 30? 31, sweetums," said Aunt Petunia. "Oh," Dudley sat down heavily and grabbed the nearest parcel. "All right then," Uncle Vernon chuckled. Little Tyke wants his money's worth, just like his father. "Attaboy, Dudley," he ruffled Dudley's hair. At that moment the telephone rang, and Aunt Petunia went to answer it, while Harry and Uncle Vernon watched Dudley unwrap the racing bike, video camera, a remote control airplane, 16 new computer games, and a VCR. He was ripping the paper off a gold wristwatch when Aunt Petunia came back from the telephone, looking both angry and worried. "Bad news, Vernon," she said. "Miss Fig's broken her leg. She can't take him." She jerked her head in Harry's direction. Dudley's mouth fell open in horror, but Harry's heart gave a leap. Every year on Dudley's birthday, his parents took him and a friend out for the day to adventure parks, hamburger restaurants, or the movies. Every year, Harry was left behind with Miss Fig, a mad old lady who lived 2 streets away. Harry hated it there. The whole house smelled of cabbage, and Miss Fig made him look at the photographs of all the cats that she had ever owned. "Now what?" said Aunt Petunia, looking furiously at Harry as though he had planned this. Harry knew he ought to feel sorry for Mrs. Fig that had the broken leg, but it wasn't easy when he reminded himself it would be a whole year before he had to look at Tibbles, Snowy, Mr. Paws, and Tufty again. "We could phone Marge," Uncle Vernon suggested. "Don't be silly, Vernon. She hates the boy." The Dursleys often spoke about Harry like this, as though he wasn't there, or rather as though he was something very nasty that couldn't understand them, like a slug. "What about what's-her-name, your friend Yvonne, on vacation in Majorca?" snapped Aunt Petunia. "You could just leave me here," Harry put in hopefully. He'd be able to watch what he wanted on television for a change, and maybe even have a go on Dudley's computer. Aunt Petunia looked as though she'd just swallowed a lemon. "And come back and find the house in ruins?" she snarled. "I won't blow up the house," said Harry, but they weren't listening. "I suppose we could take him to the zoo," said Aunt Petunia slowly, "and leave him in the car." "That car's new. He's not sitting in it alone." Dudley began to cry loudly. In fact, he wasn't really crying. It had been years since he'd really cried. But he knew that if he screwed up his face and wailed, his mother would give him anything he wanted. "Dinky Duddy Dums, don't cry. Mummy won't let him spoil your special day," she cried, flinging her arms around him. "I don't want him to come," Dudley yelled between huge pretend sobs. "He always spoils everything." He shot Harry a nasty grin through the gap in his mother's arms. Just then the doorbell rang. "Oh, good Lord, they're here," said Aunt Petunia frantically. And a moment later, Dudley's best friend, Pierce Pulchus, walked in with his mother. Pierce was a scrawny boy with a face like a rat. He was usually the one who held people's arms behind their backs while Dudley hit them. Dudley stopped pretending to cry at once. Half an hour later, Harry, who couldn't believe his luck, was sitting in the back of Dursley's car with Pierce and Dudley on the way to the zoo for the first time in his life. All right, sweetie. That's gonna be it of the book for right now, okay? You look tired, and you need to